Digital, David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Auzai 24-inch computer monitor. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. Be sure to check out some of the other Auzai product review videos on my channel. You can see how it comes packaged here right here in a very simple retail box. Technically, it's a 23.8-inch screen. This is an IPS panel with 1920 by 1080p full HD resolution, a 5 millisecond response time, and 75 hertz for the refresh rate. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, we got your warranty card, followed by your user guide and manual right here, complete with product information and setup. On the back side, we have our menu functions as well with some troubleshooting and their customer service email address if you ever have any questions. Next, you can see we have an included HDMI cable. We have our power supply. We have our monitor stand made out of plastic. You can see 4 grip feet at the bottom and a plastic tab right here to release. You can see the rest of it. And last but not least, we have the monitor itself right here with our menu button and controls and our power button. You can see we actually have 2 screw holes. Not technically VESA mount since there aren't 4 of them, but you might be able to attach this to your mount. Just keep that in mind though. It's probably best to use this monitor with the included stand, but you might get lucky with those 2 screw holes if you want to use a VESA mount. You can see our stand release button right there in yellow. We have our product information right here. We can go ahead, we can flip it up. You can see our IO with HDMI, VGA, and our power. We also, back on this side, we have our Kensington lock right there. Now let's flip it around. You can see it from the front right here. Check that out. Got some styrofoam on it. There we go. Nice screen and display, 24 inches, technically 23.8 inches. Pretty thin profile too along the sides. Pretty sleek. And look at the thin bezels along the sides and the top right there. Also on the back, there's a nice texture. It's got a nice texture to it. I like that. It's kind of a more rugged plastic on the back with all the grooves and the pattern on it. Pretty cool. Nice, nice, nice. Again, you can see how thin it is. So really thin at the top, a little bit thicker as it bulges out towards the bottom. Black on black, everything for this monitor. Now let's go ahead. Let's get the stand installed. Stand installation is pretty simple and straightforward. You're going to take this piece and we're going to attach it to the base. So you can see it just drops right in like so. And then you just twist it until it goes right in center right there. And you can see now from the bottom, we have our open and close options. We have this little lever right there too to keep everything in place so it's not going to go anywhere. Now let's go ahead. Let's get it installed to the monitor itself. Just gently slide everything in like so. You can see, there we go. It just successfully attached in place. Now you can see we have the stand installed. Check that out right there. We have no height adjustment, no rotation, but we have a pretty substantial tilt forward and tilt backwards. Let me show you guys that again from the side right here. Check that out. That's our tilt forward. Then you can see we can tilt it all the way backwards like that too. So check that out. There we go. No rotation, no height adjustment, just the tilt forward and backwards. So there you go. You can see what it looks like with the stand installed. Now let's go ahead, let's power it on and check out the menu settings. So now you can see I got the monitor plugged in and powered on right here. First up, you can see our Windows display settings. It shows up as M238BH. We can see 1920, 1080p, 75 hertz for the refresh rate. Initially, when I plugged this in and tried it out with my computer, it was capping us at 60 hertz in Windows. I went into the NVIDIA control panel settings and manually changed the refresh rate to 75 hertz, and everything is working great, and you can see it showing up like that right here within the Windows settings. Now let's look at the menu options. First, we have our menu button right here. You can see the menu that it brings up. Then you can see we have our first arrow key option. We can cycle through different image modes right here with different icons. So you can see that. Then our last arrow, you can see we can adjust if we want to put a cross arrow on the screen. We can do that. Couple different options. Pretty cool. And then we can exit out of that too. Let's go look at the menu settings briefly. So let's go ahead. Let's select our menu settings. And you can see different options we have for brightness. Then we have our image setup. Then you can see our color setup. Then we have our OSD right here. We can change the position if we want. Then we have our reset options if we want to reset the monitor. And then we have our additional settings like our input selection and our black level option. You can see 1920 1080p 75 Hertz right there. I want to go back really quickly to the first option. You can see we have HDR. And then I believe further down we have in our color setup, we have a low blue light mode too. So keep that in mind. You can adjust color temperature and you can also control the blue light with this monitor, which is great. Let's exit out of that with the exit button. Oops, I hit it again, and now you can see if we hit that exit button, it's going to show our inputs right there, and we can cycle between the two very quickly. Now let's go ahead, let's continue to try it out. So now you can see I got a video pulled up right here on the monitor. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to rotate it some so you guys can get a feel for the viewing angle right here. This is an IPS panel. It's known for viewing angles and color accuracy. So check that out. And let's start rotating it back right here. And we're going to rotate it the other way as well, so you guys can get a feel for the viewing angle. Check that out with this monitor. Pretty impressive stuff right here. Now let's go ahead, let's conduct that same test again, but this time let's do it with the lights off. Now you can see I got the lights off right here. We're going to rotate the monitor again so you can get a feel for the viewing angle. Check that out. Pretty impressive right there. Again, IPS panels are known for their incredible viewing angles. Let's rotate it the other way too, so you can really get a feel for how everything looks. I mean, look at that. You can still see it. There we go. And now let's rotate it right back. And there we go. That has been your viewing angle test. So now it's time for one of my favorite tests. We're doing the motion blurring test right here. You can see we have a UFO going across the screen at 3 different FPS intervals, and this is at 1920 1080p 75 Hertz. So you can see 75 FPS at 75 Hertz versus 38 versus 19. You can see the big difference there between how the alien looks, how smooth it is, how many aliens you see on the screen. Even at the top one at 75 FPS, I do notice some motion blurring still with the alien. It's not as clear as I would like it to be, but it's way better than 38 and 19. So you can just get a feel for what it's like if you're doing a lot of like FPS shooters with this monitor. That's what you can expect if you're able to get 75 FPS at 1920 1080p with your system. You can expect to see very similar image quality. Now you can see I got Fortnite pulled up right here. Currently 1920 1080p epic settings. 120 FPS because there's no 75 FPS option. We're using an RTX 3070 as our gaming GPU for our gaming PC with an i9 9900K powering this monitor. So check it out. Look at the image quality. We're in the default preset 2, just the check mark 1. You can see very responsive. Everything looks great. Love IPS panels for gaming personally. Got him. Got him. Oh, and they got me. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him! Let's go! He done. Now you can see we're gonna try out some Warzone. Same settings, guys, 1920 1080p. In this case, we do have 75 FPS for our 75 Hertz display setup. So that's what you guys will be seeing here in this footage as we play some Warzone. Oh, I gotta reload!
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Oh, he got me!
You're done here. You're up, soldier. Now go sort this out. Got roughed up in there. We're bringing you home.
Rip me. let me share with you guys my final thoughts in regards to this monitor. First, let's talk about the design. It's a very simple design. It looks modern, and I like how thin the bezels are. So, very pleased with the monitor just because it's simple in design. I think it looks great, especially if you want to pair this with another monitor. You'll enjoy having those thin bezels when they're side by side. It's also pretty thin on the back. That's not a deal breaker for me if the monitor has some chunk in the back, because most people aren't going to be able to see that anyways. Also, in regards to the design, I've never seen a monitor that has so much tilt. That is insane how much you can tilt this monitor, but unfortunately with the included stand, you can't adjust the height and there's no swivel rotation or anything like that. So that could be a deal breaker for you because there's no VESA mount options. We do have those mysterious screws in the back. We have those 2 screw holes at the top, but technically that'd only be 2 out of the 4 screws you need for VESA mounting. So that might work for you and your setup. It might not. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be fixed at this height unless you stack some books under it or something, and there's no way to lower it down. But if you're looking for a monitor that just has tilt, this is one of the craziest tilts I've ever seen in a computer monitor. Also, I'm happy with the HDMI and the VGA for legacy users, but I'd love to see some USB, USB Type-C, some DisplayPort. That would be great to have those options in the future. Also, there are no built-in speakers, but I swear on the back side of this monitor, there's 2 spots to have built-in speakers. So I'd love to see some built-in speakers in the future with this monitor. In regards to performance, it's what you'd expect from an IPS panel. Great viewing angles, great colors. And again, we have 1080p, full HD, and 75 Hertz. So it's better than buying a monitor on the market today that only has 60 Hertz. That'll help you if you are into gaming. But overall, guys, if you're looking for another monitor for your laptop, your desktop, this is definitely one that's worth considering. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.